Hi, good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Well, this morning, I posted a picture of bottles which are made out of mud. It's actually clay, it's earth. And in India, it's called a matka. Well, for the longest time, people stored water in these little clay earthen pots. And there are health benefits when you really look into this. And today we've replaced it with plastic bottles and we've replaced it with all the crap which is affecting not just the environment but our health as well. It's time to start moving back to these options. The number one question that I see people asking is where I bought this from. Well, it was gifted to me and I'm sure that person who gifted it to me is watching the video and she probably will post it in the group at some point where she got it from. But I think these are the things that we need to start getting back to, because there are health benefits when it comes to drinking water from this little clay earthen pot. Number one, for people who have tasted this water, it is much cooler than water that's stored in a plastic bottle or even in a glass bottle. Because earth and clay is porous in nature and it has the ability to cool down the water. So on a hot summer day, even a glass of water poured from this earthen clay pot into your glass is one of the most refreshing drinks you could ever have. Add a little bit of lemon into it, add a little bit of jaggery if you want, and you got a perfect summer drink. You don't need to have any of the aerated drinks. You don't have to have any of the fruit flavored, the juices and the sugar filled juices and, all of that stuff. Basically, just get back to nature. A beautiful glass of cool, earth cool water is refreshing for you. It is satisfying, and believe me, it actually makes you a little bit happy, because obviously the more you connect to nature, the happier you feel. It's full of minerals because that's what you find in earth, that's what you find in clay. So that mineral seeps into your water that you're drinking. We spoke about drinking water from a copper vessel and how copper, the trace mineral, actually gets into the water and into your system. It's the same thing when you drink out of an earthen clay pot as well. Alkaline water, and this is beautiful because I did this test a couple of days ago. So I have an industrial standard pH meter where I can dip that into any drink or beverage and it tells me the pH of that liquid. So I've done it with normal water, I've done it with water with lemon where obviously the pH level goes up. I've done it with a glass of wine and we see how acidic it is. So I keep playing around with that little toy and I put it in a glass of water poured out from the earthen pot. And the pH is higher than normal water, even from a glass bottle or from a plastic bottle. So we all know about the importance of having alkaline water. We know about the importance of having an alkaline body and not an acidic body, because an acidic body prevents you from losing weight. It's the breeding ground of all diseases. You cannot have disease in a body which is primarily alkaline. Most cancer cells breed in an acidic environment. So we always want to look at how we can drink more alkaline water and eat foods and diets which are highly alkaline rather than more acidic. So when you have water out of an earthen clay pot, it is highly alkaline. Then, for people who have normal fridge cold water and it affects them, they have a throat problem or they get a cold or they have congestion in their throat, that's different. If you still like cold water, you drink this cool water which is soothing to the throat. It's actually good for your throat. It's easy and soft and soothing on your throat, and it probably won't cause the same kind of congestion or cold that you have out of drinking normal fridge water. That's for people where normal fridge water impacts, congestion in their chest or their throat. The beauty is when you start drinking and going back to nature, you're eliminating BPA from the plastic bottled water that you drink. You're being more eco-friendly. We know that most plastic is contaminating the earth. Most of it is contaminating our body with the amount of BPA going in, especially women, something called xenoestrogen, mimicking estrogen in the body. And what are some of the biggest issues that we have amongst women today? Estrogen dominance in their bodies, ovarian issues, PMS cycles, poor periods, breast cancers which are ER positive, endometrial lining disorders, weight gain in the abdominal region, estrogen dominance right through. So how do we fix estrogen dominance? By removing excess estrogen from our body, by reducing our exposure to things that create estrogen dominance in the human body. Number one, plastic bottles. Storing water in plastic bottles, storing cooked heated food in plastic containers as well. Leaches BPA, gets into our body, mimics estrogen. So yes, and absolutely, and clay clay for the longest time, from generation to generation, is healing for the human body, which is why naturopathy, they'll put clay packs on you, they'll put mud packs on you. Clay is healing, which is why when we let our children play with soil, it's loaded with microbes that go into their gut system, populating the good and bad bacteria, colonies in the human body, helping with digestion, assimilation, everything. So you can't go wrong with them. Now, there are two things to do, because again, everything gets commercialized. I clicked a picture of the clay pots that I have. If you noticed on the outside very clearly, there's water. It's moist. It looks like it's leaking. Sometimes you got to store it in like a stainless steel container because it will leak. A pure clay pot or a pure matka will leak. It'll have that moisture around it. Now that is the right quality. Many people get the mud pots which do not leak. They're dry on the outside, which means it's glazed and the inside is lined with a chemical to prevent the moisture from escaping. You lose all the health benefits, and in fact you put as much chemicals back into your system. So you want to make sure that you get a really good quality one, which should become moist on the outside and wet on the outside. That's how an earthen clay pot should really be. Now, how do you clean it? The best way to clean it is after about 4 to 5 days of use, you empty the water and you just put it out in the sun. Put it on your balcony, your windowsill, keep it for about 4 to 5 hours. The sun does the cleaning job for it. And then you can fill it with water, empty it out once, and then fill it with water and reuse it again. We don't use soap, we don't scrub it, we don't do any of that. You see, nature, porous, minerals, has the ability to heal, like salt water in the sea is healing on its own, and it is purifying at the same time. So the closer we move to nature, the better lives we are going to build, the better health we're going to build, and the better we're going to feel. Artificial can't do that for you. Absolutely not. So you may want to make sure that you get the right quality of this and you start using this. You know, we have just glass at home and we have just mud at home. And, you know, we notice that all of us tend to use the water from the mud pot and glass second. It's cooling, it's soothing, and it has all these health benefits. Have a great morning, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.